Hello, in this Java programming video, we are going to take a look at comments. Comments are immensely important, not just in Java, but pretty much in any programming language. And though they're actually so important, one, they don't actually improve your application in terms of it running at all. And two, it's a thing that people, just ignore a lot of the time. They just overlook, and it's mainly because of point one, that they don't actually improve your application. Once it's working and running, having extra comments in there does not actually make a difference. The compiler actually removes the comments. So having them there or not, the actual final compiled application won't even have them in there. But why they're so important is one, it allows you to describe code and what it does. And you might be thinking, why would you want to do that? I wrote the code, so I know what it does. Two things. One, you may know what it does now, but you might revisit it in 6 months' time, a year, or even let's say years later. And you might not know what it does, especially when it was a bit if it was a bit complex, or if the code was really bad. Maybe you was like an amateur at the time, and now you're like John Carmack, Doom Pro level at coding, and you just look and you think, why would I have ever done that? And it'll just help explain stuff. The other thing is, you may not always look at your own code. There's GitHub, where all of the code from this series is. And without having stuff like comments or readmes, this sort of stuff, it'll be very difficult to figure out what the code actually does. So it's just a really cool, concise way of describing the code. The other thing that it's really good for is something called commenting out code, and that's basically when, if you comment out the code, that code won't run. The reason you would do that is if you're testing and you don't want to, let's say, delete that particular block of code, because you don't want to actually delete it, you want it still there, you just want to quickly see what it's like without it. And two, maybe you're scared that like this epic algorithm that you've just done might get deleted if, let's say, the application, the IDE crashes and you can't remember what to do. So, honestly, this happened to me before. So let's just dive in and have a look at what comments are or how to do it. So this is a comment. So there's two ways of doing a comment in all our languages, including Java. And there's a single line comment, which is like this. So let's just say if I do this, put 2 forward slashes. You don't have to put a space. You can just write it as is, but I find it's just a little neater. Like say, this is the main method. So this will run fine. This will run a-okay. And that's just moaning because I spelled method wrong. It's more, Eclipse actually has built-in check for like words as well. So Eclipse is pretty cool like that. So that's one way of doing it. Obviously, you could, let's say, comment this and say, this is a print of a single. This is a print without a new line. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It just explains it. Another thing is multi-comment, because if I click enter and I do that, this will, it's already given me a warning or an error, and it's because this is a single line comment. Anything after the 2 forward slashes on that same line are comments, and they won't get compiled into the final executable. But if you, let's say, are describing something a bit more complex, you can do something called like a multi-line comment. So you can do slash asterisk. As you can see, everything has just been commented out now. And to end it, you just do, to end it is actually just asterisk forward slash. So I wanted to show you that. So if I were to just get rid of that, as you can see, that is fine. So with Eclipse, it actually adds the last one. These intermediary ones aren't necessary. It's just more for formatting. So just bear that in mind. And here I can say, this is awesome. Hello, I am awesome. And you are awesome. So that's a multi-line comment. So to comment out code, you just put the comment at the start of the line. So if I run that now, that code is no longer executed. And you could do with a multi-line comment as well. So you could do something like so. Obviously, it won't allow you to get past this because you'll get to the next available end comment. So if I were to, let's just say, duplicate these lines, print it just to show you the result. And if, let's say, I was wanting to see what it looks like without these comments, without these lines of code, before slash asterisk forward slash, and that's it. So if you run it, none of this will have been printed out. So the only one that's printed out is this, because it's not on a single line comment or within a multi-line comment block. And these comments can go anywhere. They can go be before the class as well. Say awesome application, and I'll show you that it's still run. Like I said, comments are actually removed at the compilation stage, so it doesn't really matter where you put them. So that's it for comments. Really useful. I think that a lot of people will overlook and then probably regret it 6 months down the line when they look at old code. I know I have. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.